Okay, so the first window we're going to look at is the actual browser's window. Okay, the browser window, if you think back to iMovie, you remember that we had a shelf there, and the browser is kind of like the shelf in that whatever it is that you have in here that's a media object, you're going to be able to find that stored inside of the browser. Remember, as I told you before, that when you're importing clips into Final Cut Pro, you want to make sure that they're in the folder where they plan to stay, so that way when you don't ever move them once they've come into Final Cut, because if you do, they're going to go actually offline, and that simply means that Final Cut Pro cannot find them. Okay? When I look at them, you'll notice that each of these different icons symbolizes a different thing. Bloomies, when I double click it, you'll notice it launches a file into the viewer window, and that is a movie file. Movie files have this cool little film strip image. Okay? Below that, you'll notice there's a jumptown.aif image. When I double click that, okay, you'll notice that audio plays on the right hand side. If I hit that, you can see that there's the audio files that we're going to be using later on. You'll also notice below over here there's a still image file. Okay, this icon has the letters A, B, C on it, and sure enough, that's a still image that you can go ahead and incorporate into your projects. And then below that, you'll notice that there's a sequence window. Okay, the sequence refers to the timeline that's below. If you think of the word sequence, think of the word timeline. Watch, when I close the sequence tab, okay, my whole timeline disappears. But if I double click on sequence 1, my whole timeline reappears. You can have as many sequences as you want in your individual projects, and it allows you to break your projects up into different chunks and then take those chunks and reassemble them into one sequence, a process called nesting. Okay? So if you want something in your project, essentially it has to live within Final Cut Pro's browser window.